Hi, my name is Milligan. In this video I'm going to be making a bedside table radiator cover slash desk. It's all going to be made out of this garage, one car garage, by myself and a little bit of help from someone else. But we're just waiting for the delivery at the moment. Whilst we wait, I'll show you where the place is going to go. Okay, this is the space at hand in me and my partner's room. We're going to be having a nice desk here that goes into a radiator cover that doubles as a bedside table. We'll have a push to open drawer. It's quite a small space, but at the moment it's just dead space, so better to do something with it. So the desk will come from here, about a metre out. So these shoe racks here, both of them in the way, we'll have to move them above here. The radiator cover will come on this wall just at the end of the radiator, and it'll be flush with the bedside table, so it'll all be on the same level. The desk will be about 500 wide, a metre long, and it will cover up a lot of this these wires. The desk will have a grommet, which is basically just a hole for cable management for the TV and the PlayStation, because at the moment it's quite a mess. Now, instead of trying to explain to you how it is going to look, I can show you with this 3D model. As you can see here, we have the desk, behind that radiator cover, and to the left of that we have the bedside table. There is a bed, but the bed is not to scale, but it's close enough. So the white parts around the outside of the model is basically where the wall is going to be. So they will act as my scribe, being 30mm long. So the whole panel will be 580 plus the 30. So when I come to fit it in the room, I can scribe 30mm off of the panels. There is one on this wall here and along the bedside table and radiator cover. But I can show you this in greater detail when it comes to it. Right, as you can see, it's a different day. Long story short, they sent the wrong wood, but we've got the right wood now, so we're going to get to it. 18 and 9mm. I will be using birch ply for this project, like I said in that last clip, 18mm and 9mm. The main desk will be made of the 18, and the radiator cover and bedside table will be made of 9, excluding the drawer bottom that will also be made of 9mm. So what I'm doing here first is cutting the majority of the panels that I will need immediately, so I won't have to keep on messing around with the table saw or track saw when I do start assembling. Okay, so got the majority of it cut, just need to cut the side of the bedside table and stuff like that. But for now we're going to get this all screwed together. What the case is here, this whole panel will be seen from top to bottom, and the actual top of the worktop will hang over at 32mm, so I can't fit any screws through here. So what I've had to do is make this part 18mm shorter than here and here. This will sit over here, flush to the back and whatever. So what I'm going to have to do is use pocket holes through here, but also mind out that I don't go too far back, then it will disrupt the bedside table that comes all the way through. So yeah, I'll get that done now. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. If you're struggling to understand what I'm talking about, this is how it will look. With this side being 18mm shorter than this side. Nice. This is where we are at the moment. Got the box done. Top, bottom, sides are all on. I have just screwed the bottom on because it's nothing special, it's just for me. Right, so what is next? I've now got to get the worktop, which is there, on top, just some screws from the inside. You don't want to see screws on the outside now. I've got to cut my scribes that will go on the edge of this to here. I'm not actually sure how I'm going to position them properly. Same one here, that we're flushed to the edge. Then it's to cut the drawer box, but for now, let's get this worktop on. Worktop is on. Looking good. Looking good. When I first designed this, I didn't realise how big it was going to be. At the moment, that is a big old slab of heaviness. This is the drawing. as you can see. I mean, you can't see it too well, but that's the drawing. It doesn't actually look too big on the phone, but in real life it's absolutely humongous. Anyways, the parts I'm going to do next are these. So that's the drawer front filler and another filler. What I wanted to really do is have the filler, drawer front and the other filler to be out of one piece, so that the grain followed, but I didn't think about that. I've not got enough material to do. So it's going to have to be drawer front and then 2 scraps for the filler and the filler. But I'll get that milled up right now. Right, filler pieces and the drawer front are now cut. This is what they're looking like. I had to salvage the drawer front from another job that I wasn't using, but all in all, it's looking quite good. Got 2 mil reveals on the outside, but yeah. Now it's time to make the drawer box up. The drawer will be mitered on all 4 corners. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough material to keep the grain running along the drawer box, so it runs up and down. So in these next few clips, I'm using my router table to route in a rabbet, which is basically just a groove, to accept the drawer bottom. So this is going to be the drawer box. I'm quite happy with that. Nice. Right, we're back for a new day. Last night before we left, I got the drawer box all glued up. That's quite good. What I've got to do now is cut a drawer bottom out of 9mm and slot it into these slots here. Then I need to attach the drawer front, which is in here. I've also got to do a small rebate on this top edge because I've got push to open drawer runners, as you can see. The drawer will sit flush to the top and flush to the bottom, but this is also 18mm back, so there'll be no room for it to push. So I've got to do a small, maybe 5-6mm rebate on this top corner here, so then it has the space to push back and push in. But yeah, gonna get that all cut now and I'll show you what it looks like. So drawer box, drawer bottom. Perfect. So coming up in a few seconds are these weird orange and grey clips. They clip to the drawer and they have all the adjustment for the drawer itself. So when fitting drawers on these types of slides, there is normally always is a pin. I don't think you can actually see it, but there's a pin at the back here. I'll show you that quickly. Small pin just there. There's one on this side as well. That is the back mounting hold points really. On the drawing of the actual drawer runners, there is a placement you can drill and mark, but what I'd rather do is put the box in, get it where you want it, and then just bang it. So when you put it out onto the back of the box, there is a small indent that will show you where you need to drill. One there and one there. So bosh. Let's see. Now, there you go. She's in. Lovely. So what I'm doing here is routing that rebate in the drawer front I was talking about a while back in the video. Nice. Right, so that's that box completely finished now, with the appropriate gaps and whatever. Looks good. Now, I need to cut myself the side that's going to attach to the bedside table, which will also be out of the 9 mil. So that's what I'm going to do next. This part I've just cut here will be this part here, as you can see. There. Right, so when making the actual box part of the desk, I had forgotten that the radiator extends through the desk. I'll show you now what I mean. Basically, the radiator extends this much past the desk and it's also seated inside. So what I need to do is cut this panel here, same here, square, and same here, so that the radiator has space to sit where it's sitting. Yeah, little mistake. It's going to take a while, but yeah. So that's how it looks now. Past around this point here, this half isn't seen. Anyone's wondering how I got them cuts whilst it was all together, I used this bad boy. Japanese fold-in pullback saw. Nice. Right, now at this stage I have got the side paddle onto the desk. It's upside down. It's upside down at the moment, but basically, side panel, desk, upside down. Radiator will come from the floor to wherever, and it will follow all the way into here. Only like, I think it's 100 mil. It goes into here. The way I've connected the panel to the desk is I've got this little cleat here. It's pocket hold in to the desk, and then I routed out a 9 mil slot in the cleat there. So that on this side, you get a nice join. Right, so leg is on. That's how it looks. It's all right. Now for the bedside table that goes into the radiator cover, this part extends on to the desk 190 mil, which is there to there. To make it flush with this, I have to route down 9 mil and then chop this middle piece out so that it has something to rest on and the heat can come through and up and whatever. So we'll be doing that next. So, let's say this is the radiator cover. Where it will go here. Nice and tight in that corner. You have holes in it to let the heat out. And yeah, it should be good. So now, what I'm going to be doing is actually making all of the holes in the side of the radiator cover. It's going to take a while. Right, so now I am marking out for the slots for the radiator heat to come out. It's going to take me a while because, if you can see here, there's a 20mm gap and an 18mm slot. 20mm, 18, 20, 18, 20, 18, the whole way down, which is 1100. So I'll get back to you when I've done all that. So, got all my lines drawn out. The way I'm going to do this is with the Festool track. On my router, I've got this special base that fits in this slot in the tracks. What I'm going to do is literally just going to start halfway through, plunge it down, back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. 25 slots to do, so this is going to take me a while. But yeah, should be good. Alright, so I'm about halfway through, as you can see. It's taken me about half an hour to get this far. Yeah, it's going quite well so far. It's tried to start 2 fires. Not the best, but just because the bit is getting so hot. But right, I'll show you the finished result. That took about fucking an hour and a half. I really bought the wrong clothes for this type of job. It is part of me now, but that's how they're looking at the moment. They actually look quite cool, I do think. You want, but yeah, quite happy with that. Right, so for some reason on this clip there is no audio. What I am saying in the clip is the way that I'm going to attach the radiator cover and bedside table. Basically, the radiator cover side will be attached with magnets, and the bedside table will be attached with screws that will be held onto the side panel with a small bracket. I'll show you in the next clip. Right, so that front is now on. There is only magnets at the moment from like here to the end, because I think what I'm going to do is just have the grill part. So you can take it off with the magnets, and I'm going to screw from here on. But it's getting a bit late, as you can see. It's dark out there. I don't really want to make too much noise, so I'm not going to cut. I want a nice clean cut, so I'm not going to fuck it up with a handsaw. But yeah, that's all I can really do today. So I think it's back next week and get it all sorted. Back for another week. Last week, when I left it, we were putting the magnets on the bedside table and on the side panel. The idea was to have magnets the whole way down, so this just snaps on, but even work with magnets are not too reliable. So what I think I am going to do is to cut the radiator cover off the bedside table to have it in 2 pieces. I'll put magnets on the radiator cover side so I can get in and out of there, and just screw the bedside table on to the side panel. So I'll get that done and I'll see how it looks. Right, get some more magnets in there. Right, stop it now. I think I've done that right. So the radiator cover is on. I've got it all kind of propped up at the minute. It's a bit precarious. It's not really secure. But yeah, radiator cover. It's just on the magnets. Sits on there nicely when it's not wobbling. And then bedside table part screwed on. There will be a bracket on the wall that will go the whole way along this to the end. If you come around this side, you can kind of see how the final thing's going to look. But you can't really see too much, but that's what we will see when we're in bed. But yeah, time to take it all apart, sand it. So with all the parts disassembled, draw a box and a few more pieces just there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand them all down. Yeah, I'll get that done and I can show you how they look after. So all sanded and done. Now I'm going to be applying the finish. I'm going to be using Osmos Satin Clear. It's in this, and it doesn't look like it, but it's just in a bottle. It's easy to use. But yeah, I've got a few bits to do. So that's all the panels with one coat of oil. They need another coat, so I'll come back in the morning, give them a coat, and then we'll be back next week to install it in the room. Okay, so back in the bedroom. First things first, we need to get the brackets on the wall that's going to hold the desk and bedside table. So that laser line is the bottom of the unit, so this will sit here like this, and then from that point we can move to the next step. So far I've got the leg scribed to the floor, and I've got one bracket in over that side. What I need to do next is scribe the bottom to the wall. I've done the back so far, so that fits there nicely. It's coming up flush with the leg, which is nice. So I've got a scribe here. So this is that 30mm scribe I was talking about, the 30mm extra. So I've set this little thing up to 30mm. I run that pin along the wall, the whole way across, square, and that gives me 30mm that will shift in, and it will shift into all the unevenness and different parts like that, because as you can see it's touching in some places and it's not touching in others. So we'll cut that and we'll see how good my scribing is. So got that cut. Doesn't look the best, but it was my first one. It's a lot tighter to the wall. What I need to do now is put the top and the actual top on it and scribe that to the wall, but that's got to look nice and neat, so I'll take my time on that one, but let's get it in here. So got the actual base of the desk on. Now it's time to put the top on. The thing is with the top now, because the walls obviously aren't square, this isn't sitting square and it needs to sit in to the corner a certain amount. So I don't know, well I do know, well I'm going to go back first. So I'll scribe the back and then I'll scribe the side. But what I need to make sure when I'm doing that is I've got this top correctly placed to where it's a certain amount from here and from there. Because what I don't want to do is scribe it in and I put my drawer in and this far corner is sitting too far in. So I just got to figure out how far out I need to move it or position it, stuff like that before doing the scribe. And I know I've got tools in the bed, it's fine, it's my bed. But didn't go too bad. Got the front drawer in as well. Put this other scribe piece in. Yeah, it's looking nice. Now I need to put the bedside panel in, bedside table and radiator cover. Not too sure how I'm going to do it, I'm just going to actually wing it. Let's get that done. Got the side panel in. We did fuck the wall up quite a bit getting it in. It wasn't meant to be that tight, but it is. Now we've got to make the brackets that's going to hold this backside, the same brackets that went on this thing, and they'll go the whole way across. So I've got the side panel in place, bolted to the wall, and yeah, in the right place. Looking nice in this gap here. Now I've got the radiator cover. It needs to sit all the way back there and there. So I've got to scribe that in, and after I scribe that in, I've got to scribe in the bedside table. And then yeah, I'll show you how it looks after that. And she is finished, as you can see. Nice and cosy. So it's working. The missus has taken her pickings already, her drawer now. But yeah, we've got the bedside table, radiator cover. It does come out with some persuasion. So yep, it's done. Took me in total probably a month, just on the weekends. Had a few weeks off for being ill. But yeah, you notice that the last few videos weren't as good. This is quite stressful to get in. Scratching up all the walls and stuff like that. Scribe's not going well. If I was to do it again, nowhere near as many scribes. It was not fun. Scribing to the floor, to the walls, to the sides. Oh, would not do it again. But yeah, that will be the end of this video. If you would like to see more, let us know. Yeah, thanks for watching.